In Capital News tonight, a windstorm wreaks havoc in Arusha. The government to review the elderly policy. And in sports, cycling race from Dar es Salaam to Butiama in commemoration of Mwalimu Nyerere to start on 6th October. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's start things off with the national news. A windstorm today caused activities in Arusha city to come to a standstill for more than 1 hour. The storm caused many residents to run from their business premises, residences and cars to crash.
The weather changed suddenly. It is disastrous. It can cause damage to property.
The government has said that it is reviewing the 2003 elderly policy this financial year in order to identify challenges which need to be addressed. The statement was made by Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa during World Elderly Day, which nationally was held in Mtwara region. On her part, the Minister of Health, Community Development, the Elderly and Children, Umi Mwalimu, said life expectancy in the country has increased.
The government right now is reviewing elderly national policy of 2003 so as to include challenges and identify essential needs that have occurred in the period of 14 years of implementing the policy. I have seen a post from Dar es Salaam region asking the government on the aim of the government. I would like to assure you that the government is determined to fulfill your demands, because if you look at the current financial year, the government through the Ministry of Health, Gender, the Elderly and Children will monitor implementation of elderly policy of 2003 with the aim of creating a new policy that fulfills the current demands and standards. According to the census records of 2012, Tanzania is estimated to have about 2,507,568 elders, which is equivalent to 5.8% of the total population, meaning that in every 100 citizens, 6 of them have the age above 60 years. Medical issues are still struggling, but we are glad that windows have been installed in some of the regions. You have done many things that impress us, but we are still calling for formulation of a law that will highlight issues on social pension. Research have been done and showed that our government is able of providing us their privilege to all elders. The government can start by initiating small amounts of money, like 20,000 or 15,000 shillings, and then improve as time goes by. Our fellows in Zanzibar are enjoying the social pension benefits for 4 years now.
President Dr. John Magufuli has sworn in Dr. Wilson Mahera Charles as the Director of the National Electoral Commission and Colonel Wilbert Augustine Ibuge as Ambassador. The swearing-in ceremony was held at State House in Dar es Salaam and was attended by Vice President Samia Suluhu Hassan, the Minister of Information, Culture, Arts and Sports, Dr. Harrison Makiembe, the Minister of State, the Prime Minister's Office for Investment, Angela Kairuki, and the Chairman of the National Electoral Commission, Judge Semistosel Kaijage.
Wilson Mahera Charles, naapa kwamba nitakuwa mwaminifu kwa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania na kuitumikia kwa moyo wangu wote, na kwamba nitaihifadhi, nitailinda na kuitetea Katiba ya Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania iliyowekwa kwa mujibu wa sheria.
Kazi hii ni utume.
So please bear with me. This job expects service. Therefore, you must go and serve Tanzanians.
I would like to wish you all the best, because if you used to sleep at 10 p.m., now you're going to sleep at 3 a.m. The responsibilities ahead of you are huge. For example, last night around 2 a.m., I received SMS from Sigwa, and I was quite worried about the newly appointments since they were appointed at night. Then you have to work day and night.
Lakini la pili kubwa kuhakikisha kwamba mnaendelea kusimamia uboreshaji wa daftari kwa umakini mkubwa.
It is important that voters registration exercises handled diligently so that all who will be registered have the qualities of being registered in the book. Secondly, to the newly appointed head of protocols, you have the diplomatic responsibilities as ministers who have been interacting with different ambassadors and their embassies. We have the responsibility of cooperating together with you through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We are relying on your proper guidance on whoever comes to visit us have fulfilled all the required diplomatic procedures. I would like to assure you that through the Prime Minister's office and on behalf of Honorable Prime Minister and Honorable Janista Mhagama and the General Secretaries, we are going to be very cooperative in order to allow you fulfill your responsibilities.
Na makatibu wakuu tutawapatia kila aina ushirikiano wa dhati kuhakikisha kwamba mnatekeleza majukumu yenu ipasavyo.
9 employees of the National Social Security Fund NSSF, who include the Acting Director of Finance, Jamila Vulu, have appeared in Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court to face 5 charges, which include that of money laundering of more than 2 billion shillings. Others implicated in the case include check writer Abdurrahman Jozi, verification manager Amiri Kapera, senior accountant James Oigo, chief accountant Helen Peter, debt preparement accountant Yvonne Kimaro, investigation desk accountant Restiana Luquaro, acting human resources officer Tikieba Alphonse, and accountant Dominic Mbwete. Investigations into the case is still not completed. Tanzania Revenue Authority has broken a tax collection record since its establishment after collecting 1.76 trillion shillings during the month of September. TRA Commissioner General Dr. Edwin Mhede says this was due to improved efficiency in tax collection.
Mamlaka ya mapato Tanzania katika kipindi hiki cha mwezi Septemba imeweza kukusanya.
In the month of September, TRA has managed to collect 1.767 trillion shillings, which is equivalent to 97% of the set target, which was 1.817 trillion shillings. I would like to call on the public to know that the amount of money collected in this month has never happened in the history of Tanzania Revenue Authority since it began. We have collected revenues at 161% to reach the target. I would like to call on traders in Mbeya region to continue paying taxes and enjoy the process of paying taxes.
Tulipe kodi na tuone fahari kulipa kodi.
The Prevention and Combating of Corruption Bureau PCCB in Kinondoni has arrested Eric Godfrey Mkinga, an employee of Sega Engineering and Construction Limited Company, for giving a bribe of 300,000 shillings to an ITV reporter in order to prevent the truth on complaints voiced by workers of the company on their payments. This comes 2 weeks after the incident was reported on the 19th of September when the workers came to ITV to complain over illegal salary cuts.
Mnamo tarehe 19 wa 9/2019
on 19th September 2019, Mr. Eric Godfrey Mkinga gave 300,000 shillings to a journalist, Benjamin Mzinga, who reports for independent television ITV, who went to Sega Engineering Construction Company Limited for the purpose of balancing a story on allegations reported towards the company by its workers on low wages, salary contract, the agreement where they were supposed to be paid 12,000 per day while the company was paying them 6,000 shillings instead.
Taarifa hii ilifika ofisi za TAKUKURU mkoa wa Kinondoni.
These reports reached the office of PCCB in Kinondoni district where we have done our investigations and the suspect has been found guilty of the offense of trying to bribe the journalist.
Ofisi ya kuzuia na kupambana na rushwa inatoa pongezi.
ECB is congratulating the move took by ITV journalist Benjamin Mzinga for denying the bribe and allow the Corruption Bureau to fulfill its duties towards the matter. Our call to citizens and journalists to continue saying no to corruption for the benefit of the nation.
Kwa wananchi na wanahabari pamoja na jamii kwa ujumla.
The U.S. chargé d'affaires in Tanzania, Dr. Inmi Patterson, has advised institutions and non-governmental organizations to increase efforts in the fight against new HIV/AIDS infections, stigma, as well as HIV testing sensitization amongst men. She made the call in Dar es Salaam at an occasion to award 11 guarantees, 570 million shillings from the U.S. President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, PEPFAR, for implementation of health projects on HIV/AIDS in the country.
Yani, dawa za mwanzo za kupunguza kasi ya
Medication to be used at the initial stage to slow down the spread of VVU in the body. Beneficiaries know that VVU-infected people can live a normal life so long as they continue to take medication. However, few young people are coming forward to be tested compared to women. Therefore, more work needs to be put to make sure that men living with VVU are tested and take medication.
Kwa kiasi kikubwa unyanyapaa.
To a large extent, we cannot compare victimization to how it was in the past. It is much less now, but it is still very much there, more so in rural areas. In such areas, there are those who still believe that if he shares a meal with an infected person, then he will be infected, or if you hug or hold hands. We're supporting government efforts to completely deal away with victimization. It is not because of the fear to come forward, but it is knowing your status. So we must address this as well as the issue on victimization and the economic situation of those infected.
Tuweze kuja katika ngazi sasa ya kuchukua hatua kama ya kubainisha tatizo kwa kupima.
Dar es Salaam Special Police Zone has arrested 50 drivers, 19 of whom are government employees, for driving their vehicles on the rapid bus infrastructure. The commander of Dar es Salaam Special Police Zone, ACP Lazaro Mambosasa, has said their vehicles have also been impounded.
Operation Kabambe na endelevu.
It is a special ongoing operation to seize vehicles that use the rapid transport lanes. The Police Force Special Dar es Salaam Zone Task Force from 19th of September 2019 started to seize vehicles that use rapid transport lanes. In this operation, a total of 50 vehicles were seized, out of which 19 are government and public sector vehicles, and 31 vehicles are privately owned. I would like to tell residents of Dar es Salaam that the government's directive on this regard is clear. There is a habit of anyone who is late to use rapid transport lanes. The lanes used by rapid transport buses is no different to a railway, which any distraction that may cause an accident, the person responsible is assumed to have caused the accident, because it is a special railway for the train, so is for rapid transport buses.
That's all for national news. International news is next. And in international news, the government of Uganda has designated the red beret as official clothing that could land members of the public who wear them in jail, a move that essentially bans the uniform of leading opposition leader Bobi Wine and his supporters. Bobi Wine, a pop star turned politician who has announced he is running for president against longtime leader Yoweri Museveni in 2021, has made the red beret as his signature, calling it a symbol of resistance.
This is our emblem. It is.
This is our emblem, our symbol, and we will keep wearing them. People have been wearing all manner of berets and not breaking laws for a long time.
Other countries changed.
Other countries changed the way they dressed, and there have been banned in many of them. And we have done this to ensure that we are in sync with our colleagues.
Separate attacks in Somalia have targeted a U.S. Special Forces base in the town of Balidogol and a European military convoy in the capital, Mogadishu. The Al-Shabaab armed group claimed responsibility for the attack at the base located in the lower Shabelle region, about 100 kilometers west of Mogadishu. The U.S. mission to Somalia denied Al-Shabaab fighters penetrated the camp's defenses, saying Somali security forces repelled the attack. With debate on the amendment bill of the 2010 Constitution underway in counties, the leader of the Third Way Alliance Party in Kenya, Ekuru Aukot, has criticized leaders who oppose the Constitution amendment process.
Sponsored the Punguza Mizigo Bill referendum call in order to improve the Constitution of Kenya 2010, in order that the Constitution of Kenya can serve us best as the people. And more specifically, the bill aims to do the following among its many others. Number one, we aim to reduce the public wage bill. As you all know, our country right now is struggling with about 6 trillion Kenya shillings in national debt. That is a debt we must pay in order to end theft of public money and to improve on the integrity of our leaders. One of the reasons you are seeing some leaders opposed to this bill is because the moment they hear, they see the word integrity and character being questioned, they start trembling, they start shaking, which is why the catwalker from Kirinyaga and now the deputy president have ganged up to oppose this bill, because you know the word integrity and them is like water and oil.
That's where we leave off with international news, but do stay with us. Business news follows after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Thank you for staying with us. And in business news, small-scale sisal farmers in Tanga region have sold 2,902.2 tons of sisal fiber worth 8.4 billion shillings in a period of 8 months to Dada company from China, earning a profit of more than 4.5 billion shillings.
Magoma Amcos sold 983.7 tons of sisal and received 1.6 billion shillings. Magunga Amcos sold 534 tons of sisal and received 929.9 million shillings. Halek Amcos sold 514.4 tons of sisal and received 774.7 million shillings. In total, in 9 months, they have received 3.9 billion shillings. If you say that sisal should be farmed and remove these challenges, then even I will ask for over 50 acres.
The government's decision to control milk imports has started to have positive impact in northern zone regions as more livestock keepers and milk stakeholders have started to benefit from a reliable market.
The challenge we face is that with all the packaging I have shown you inside, if we leave out the 3 and 5 liters, the rest we have to cross the border to Kenya to find when we have many plastic companies. Some of our farmers like Msowero and West Kilimanjaro, where we use the relevant authority to place a memorandum for production livestock feed, there is also an issue that was discussed here where a bag will be sold for 28,000, but we can conduct research on and find the best combination so that if possible, the bag can be sold for less than that and the livestock keepers can get it at a reasonable price. We will be the ones using raw materials. They use horns, hooves, bones, cow-teeth, the skin, and even the cattle excrement. So later, the ministry's aim is to make sure that there is nothing that is wasted and that science is utilized in ensuring that we have the best quality cattle that can produce top quality materials.
And the government has warned coffee farmers who harvest premature coffee and those who mix harvested coffee with stones with the aim of increasing the weight of coffee sold at the market. This was said during a coffee drinking day held in Kera district, Kagera region.
All of you with this behavior and those using the strange drugs in the drying out process which affect the quality of coffee, as leaders and as the government we cannot accept this. We will fight all those who sabotage our coffee and reduce its quality. Today's intention is to encourage the drinking of coffee, good production of coffee and production of good quality of coffee. The overall consumption of coffee is between 5 to 7% of all coffee produced in the country.
That's all for business news. Sports news is next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lend.
And in sports, the former president of the United Republic of Tanzania, Jakaya Kikwete, will officially launch the late Mwalimu Nyerere commemoration cycling race from Dar es Salaam to Butiama, which is scheduled to start on the 6th of this month.
The first difference is that in the first trip I went alone. This time we're going more than 100 people. That is the first difference. Secondly, last year it was a bit difficult because the route was new and the time was short. This year we have added the number of days. Last year it was 5 days. This year we'll spend 8 days.
Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson will not return in Wednesday's Champions League clash with Salzburg, but is expected to be 100% ready to face Manchester United after the international break. Here are more details.
His calf muscle in the victory over Norwich City on the opening weekend of the 2019-2020 Premier League season. It had been hoped the former Roma star could be ready to play this week, but manager Jurgen Klopp is not prepared to take the risk, despite the player being seemingly eager to come back. After taking in midweek European action, Liverpool will play host to Leicester on Saturday.
Alberto Salazar, the legendary American distance coach who guided Mo Farah to 6 world titles and 4 Olympic gold medals, has been sent home from the World Championships in Doha following his 4-year ban for doping violations.
Found that Salazar had been orchestrating and facilitating prohibited doping conduct while head coach of the Nike Oregon Project, a group that was initially set up to help U.S. endurance athletes beat the best runners from Africa, but later recruited Farah and others from around the world. Farah, who trained with Salazar from 2010 until 2017, admitted he was happy the investigation had finally concluded. "I'm relieved that USADA has, after 4 years, completed the investigation into Alberto Salazar," he said in a statement.
Cristiano Ronaldo continues to keep everyone guessing when it comes to his future, with the Juventus superstar dropping another cryptic hint at his retirement plans. Here's more on this.
At 34 years of age, any normal footballer will be expected to be approaching the end of their playing career. Ronaldo is not your average player, though, and has worked tirelessly to keep himself in the best shape possible and at the very top of the global game. He has shown no sign of slowing down and has previously suggested that he could have many years left in him, with it possible that he could emulate the likes of Ryan Giggs and Paolo Maldini by playing past his 40th birthday.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to prepare this bulletin for you, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and good night.